So, welcome again, ladies and gentlemen. Today, on Gluten-Free Alchemy, we are going to be making sort of a veggie burger, kind of quinoa-potato-latke-fusion dish, which will be absolutely delicious. So what I've already done today is, just because prep work does take quite a while for this, it's not hard once you kind of get the ball rolling on it, but there is a lot of things that need to be boiled upon your stove before you can really get down to business. So what I've done is I've actually taken chickpeas that I've pre-boiled here with some lentils, and I'm beginning the mashing process as we speak right here. Because the best thing to do with a fucking burger is making sure that there's some protein in there. So not only do I have quinoa, as per tradition, I also have some mashed lentils. Now I have potatoes kind of doing their boil thing as well. And over here I've got chopped vegetables, so I just have some chopped bell peppers and celery with some carrot in here as well. So after the potatoes are done boiling, we're going to kind of assemble the dish with some ingredients and spices and get down to work. Okay, so it's very important when you're prodding the potato to make sure that it's to its maximum doneness, because the last thing you want is potatoes that are— no one likes a hard potato. I want you to remember that, dear viewer, as you're preparing this meal. So I'm just prodding these along. They've probably been boiling for about 40 minutes, because that's the magic of movies here, is that even when you're not with me, I'm still doing things. Isn't that awesome? Time lapses are excellent. So I think these are looking pretty done. Look at that, they're like falling apart and shit. So I'm gonna give that probably another 3 or 4 minutes, just really seal the deal on these potatoes. Again, not a fan of the hard ones. I'm a bit of a connoisseur as far as potatoes. There's actually a period of my life where I actually lived off mashed potatoes for like 2 years. I'm not even kidding. Like breakfast, lunch, and dinner potatoes. So if I were to eat like half raw potato now, I would actually cringe in disgust. That's where we're at. Oh hey! Time's elapsed, I drained the potatoes. So I'm going to put them in with the vegetables now. Clearly. And what's going to happen here is essentially I'm going to take all these fine things that I previously mentioned and I'm going to combine them. Because when you're a vegetarian, it's not as easy as just, you know, having a burger with meat and things in there. I mean, I know that's probably pretty obvious, but you want it to actually taste good. And in order to do that and also make it healthy, you kind of have to combine a myriad of things to really get shit done in that regard. So I'm kind of like half-heartedly mashing these potatoes as I go. I'll mix it up a lot better kind of once I get down to business here. Again, still slowly. It takes a lot of strength to mash the chickpeas, actually. And I soaked them overnight, just for a side note for people who do use chickpeas, just boiling them rather than canned, which is what I prefer doing just because of the sodium. You do have to soak them overnight just so they don't get— when you cook them up, they're still really hard, and it's not very palatable, so that's just kind of something to note for when you're making it yourself. So with my sheer muscle mass, my strength and power here, I've managed to match these to an appropriate pulverization for my liking. So what I'm going to do is I'm just dumping it all into— I'm going to need a bigger bowl, I feel like. Yeah. Let's just scoop this in here. Oh, I feel like this is going to be a problem. I'm going to have to like put my hair back for this. This is a first world problem right now. Because it's like there's too much goodness in one bowl. Some more time's elapsed. I found a bigger bowl. Congratulations to me, right? So I have this pre-cooked quinoa here. I'm going to put in— again, I don't really measure even though I have a measuring cup. I'm like free pouring. Just awesome. So I'm just mixing in— that was probably about 2/3 a cup, if you really feel like being a stickler for measurements here. So again, I'm just combining all these ingredients. It will kind of look like you might not want to eat it, actually, at this point. You're like, okay, what's happening here? Trust me, though, dear viewer. Just hang out, enjoy it. So you're mashing it all together. The next thing we're going to want to really do is try and spice it up. Because as delicious as potatoes and vegetables and lentils and quinoa are, I feel like it could be better, right? You kind of want to replicate that smoky barbecue sort of flavor without the calories or make it unhealthy. So a major way we do that is by adding a shit ton of smoked paprika. So we are tearing up fresh oregano, again from my beautiful garden here In beautiful Calgary, this is what constitutes as a garden. You have a fridge, and you can get your store-bought herbs from it. It's beautiful. As you can see, I'm not in an igloo right now, but I might as well be in terms of having a garden in February. So I tore probably a teaspoon worth here. Just a fresh oregano. Just make it worth a girl's while. And it looks like an overwhelming amount of spice, but I'm just adding kind of a little bit of everything. And you can look at what you have in your kitchen too and kind of assess based on what your family or you enjoy having in your, for your flavorings, what you want to add. But I'm going to start with some fresh pepper. And that smoked paprika I alluded to is very important. This is like the key ingredient here. So ideally you want like a tablespoon worth of smoked paprika just to really make it smoky and barbecue and magnificent and delicious. So I also have curry powder. And you're kind of probably wondering why I would add something like that to a veggie burger, but it actually adds kind of a really nice kind of full-bodied flavor to it. And I'm not adding a lot, so it's not going to be overwhelming. Again, probably about a teaspoon. Also, if you're really like, I hate curry, just add in more chili powder or paprika or cumin, just to kind of give it the same sort of zest. Next thing we're going to go into is garlic powder. Just free pour that guy in there. I always think it's important too when you're making something, especially just like look what you have in your fridge and what you can maybe utilize to make the dish better. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. It's like, oh, I need to use this today. Well, this is how I'm going to. Genius, right? From here, just going to add in some chili powder. Again, it's all to taste. I always add in about 1 to 2 teaspoons of everything, except for that smoked paprika where I would probably add in about a tablespoon just to really kick up the flavor. I actually still need to add some fresh garlic as well, but do that if you want. And also a lot of people would probably add onions to this as well. I'm just not like a big onion fan myself, so I'm not putting it in there, but by all means throw them in there if you can get behind their flavor. Not for me. So I'm about to put the garlic in. And actually, as I was just mentioning to my associate, I hate mincing garlic. It's just one of those things, and there's nothing you can do to like make your hands not smell like it. Maybe that's my thing. Like, I've actually considered wearing gloves. Like, that's how much I hate my hands smelling like garlic. So I'm like, see how I'm kind of like, meh, like I don't want to touch it. I'm kind of just like putting it in because I know it adds to the flavor. Like, it's so delicious, I just hate mincing it. Okay. So I've kind of mixed this up. It smells delicious. The only thing I do is add in more smoked paprika, but sadly we are all out. So I'm just going to tailor a little bit more spice just so I don't cry myself to sleep tonight and be like, it could have been more flavorful, because that's pretty disappointing. So again, I'll just add in a little bit more curry powder, and what you just saw me add in again was just a bit more chili powder, again to balance out the lack of smoked paprika. We're under, yeah. And cumin, yay! So I'll just mix this all up, and we're gonna want to heat up a medium skillet, probably on medium-low heat. So what we're gonna do is we're actually just gonna be taking the measuring cup that I was using earlier, and that's how we're gonna be forming our kind of veggie patties here. If you're wondering what my prerogative was, how we're actually gonna turn this sludge into something consumable, that's what the plan is. So grabbing that skillet. Just going to preheat it with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil here. And again, you don't need a lot. Like, you actually should always be cooking with health in mind. So I always see people really dump a lot of oil in their pan, and that's super unnecessary. You just want enough that it's greasing it so it's not sticking. You don't need a shit ton so you're making your meal full of calories that it doesn't need to be. So just keep that in mind when you're making things. Okay, welcome back. So I've measured out 1/3 cup here of this beautiful potato patty. I've reduced the heat to medium-low, and I'm just pressing it out with my hands here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook it probably for about 5 to 6 minutes on each side, just so it gets nice and golden brown. And actually, we're trying to like speed film right now. We're about to embark on a dinner party sort of situation, and I'm camera shy. So we're just trying to get as much done as we can before our company arrives here. So if you don't get to see the finished product, I'm terribly sorry about that, but you'll get the general idea. You'll be cooking with me a little bit here, and we'll probably even take a few stealth shots. I'll probably be peering up from underneath the table, and our guests will not know what's going on, but it's gonna be funny. You're in on the joke here. It's gonna be good. There's no kind of telltale way of knowing when they're ready to flip, but just wait about 5 minutes, and then you'll kind of be able to tell because it'll be easily flippable. So if you're kind of going at it and it's like proving to be a chore, it's not ready. It's kind of like a pancake in that sense. So just keep a watchful eye on it. Try not to panic. It'll be okay. Welcome back. Oh, hello. I have an audience right now, so if you're wondering why I'm extra smiley, I'm actually not used to talking in front of people. But here's an idea of what your finished product would look like. I could definitely make it look more aesthetically pleasing, but what you have is kind of, you're looking for the potatoes to be browned on either side. And typically you'd be serving it with something that would just be a mountain of potato deliciousness, but for all intents and purposes, this is the finished product. Enjoy, and really make sure you lay heavy on that smoked paprika. I took a sample of this, and as you saw, I ran out. Sadness. It's not the same. So really, really make sure you have a tablespoon of smoked paprika at least, so you really get that awesome barbecue flavor. Anyways, signing off. Have a wonderful evening, etc. Wine, good. Stop filming, please.